Hi everyone. So in our last presentation session, we started with sample shell script programs. So far we have covered 5 sample shell script programs. So in this particular presentation session, we shall try to cover the remaining sample shell script programs. So these shell script programs are very much interesting and also they are very much easier to understand. So you can get a clear picture with respect to all the shell script programs. So and also once you understand the shell script programs, then you will get a better understanding with what are all the concepts you have learned in this particular chapter. So let's start with the first program for this presentation session. A shell script in order to read a string from terminal. You are reading a string from a terminal and you should display suitable message if it does not have 10 characters. So if the string you are reading from the terminal is not having 10 characters, then you should display a suitable message. Let us see how we can write the shell script for this particular problem. First, you are writing the path. So this is actually the path where your shell script is stored. Then you are asking the string. Then you are asking the user to enter the string, enter a string followed by new line. So then a string will be entered, followed by a character, followed by a character. This is a character space, as you can see, enter the string colon, one character space is provided. Then you will enter this particular string, VTU note by SRI, that will be stored in the variable called as str. Now for this str, first we need to find out the length. So once we find the length of str character, then we can say whether the string is less than 10 characters or how many characters it has. For that to happen, we need to use the expr command. So you are using expr command for this particular string, VTU notes by string. So this will be the string, the dollar string contains this particular entire string length. Then you are using the pattern which has to be matched. So dot star. What this indicates? 0 followed by any number of characters. That means it will count each of the characters because dot means 0. 0 followed by any number of characters. It can be any character. So all these characters will be counted 13, that will be stored in the length variable. In this particular string, you are searching for a character which can be any character. Since you are searching for any character, all these characters will be counted accordingly and the value 13 will be stored in the length variable. So once you find out the value of the string, then you are comparing that length with 10. If the length is less than 10, then you will print the string as less than 10 characters. Otherwise, you will print the length itself. That means the string has 13 characters. So this is how you can write a program in order to read a string from terminal and to check whether that particular string has less than 10 characters or more than 10 characters. If it has more than 10 characters, we will be displaying the number of characters that particular string has. So you need to find the length here. How you can find the length? First you need to obtain the string itself. For that you are performing the pattern matching. You are finding the substring. So how you are finding the substring? You are finding which are all the strings which has 0 or more characters. That means even a single character, even a space will be counted as one length. So totally you will be getting 13 as the length that will be printed accordingly. Let us try to see some more program, the 7th one. A shell script to read a string from terminal and display suitable message if it does not have at least 10 characters. So you are using the case statement here. In your previous problem, we used the if statement. Here we are using the case statement. Let us see how we can use the case statement. As you can see here, this is the path where your shell script is stored. Then you are entering a string followed by a character space. The string will be stored in str. Then you are finding the length of the string. Here itself you are finding the length. So for example, hash str, what it will return? It will retain the number of characters actually. So number of characters are 13 actually. So $13 it will be nothing but 13. You are checking whether 13 is less than 10. If this condition becomes true, then 1 will be stored here. If this condition becomes true, then 1 will be stored. Since 13 is less than 10 is false, therefore it will store 13. The actual length will get stored. Only if the condition becomes true, then 1 gets stored. If the condition is not true, then the value of this particular thing will get stored, which is 13. So 13 is stored in length. So case 13 in, you are looking for case 13. 1 does not match with 13. We will go to this particular thing, which is the default thing. There you are printing the string as dollar length characters. In length you are availing the value of 30. So dollar length means the 13 gets displayed, the string as 13 characters. So this is how you can find whether the string has less than 10 characters or the number of characters the string has with the help of the switch block, with the help of the case. Okay, let us see some more programs. So eighth one, a shell script to check whether a given number is palindrome or not. First of all, let us try to understand what is a palindrome. You people already know, if a number is given and if you reverse that particular number, if the number and the reverse number are same, then that number will be called as a palindrome. Suppose if I take 1 to 1 as the number, if you reverse that number, then also I will be getting 1 to 1. Therefore, I can say 1 to 1 is a palindrome. Let us see how we can write the shell script to check whether a given number is palindrome or not. So this is the path where your shell script is stored. Then you are asking the user to enter the number followed by a space. Let us enter 1 to 1 here. So your 1 to 1 will be stored in n variable. So that value of n is copied to number, reverse is set to 0. So first of all, what we are doing, Andre, so we are making sure that the original number is stored safely. The original number is getting stored safely in a variable called as number. Then we will be doing some manipulation on the n variable. Then we will obtain the reverse of n. Then we will compare the original number and the reverse number. Let us see the logic. We are using while loop. As long as your n value is greater than 0, this while loop keeps repeating. Okay. So what is the n value now? 1 to 1. So 1 to 1 is greater than 0. You will go inside the while loop. Expression, you are evaluating an expression, n value is 1 to 1. 1 to 1 mod 10, 1. A will store 1. 1 to 1 divided by 10, that is 12. 10 12 is 20, n will store 12. Then you are performing an evaluation, $reverse, $reverse is initially 0 into 10, 0 into 10 is 0. So why you are using escaping here? Why you are using escaping? Because this is a meta character star. This has a special meaning. In order to remove the special meaning of this meta character, you need to escape that. That's why I used the escape character. So reverse is 0, 0 into 10, 0 plus a value is 1. So 1 gets stored in reverse. So again you will go back. Now the n value is 12. 121 divided by 10, 12. 12 is greater than 0. You will come inside. 12 mod 2 is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 1. Again you will come here. Here you were having 1. So 1 into 10. 10. 10 plus 2, 12. So reverse now as 12. Again you will go back here. N is 1 now. 1 is greater than 0. Again you will come here. 1 mod 2. Remainder is 1. 1 divided by 10 is 0. Again you come here. Here it is 12. So 12 into 10, 120 plus 1. The remainder was 1. So 121. Again you will go back here. Now n is 0. 1 divided by 10, n is 0. So 0 is not greater than 0. You will come out of the loop. You will print the reverse, which is 1 to 1. Now you will compare the original number with the reverse number. Since it is equal, you will print the number is palindrome. Otherwise, if it is not equal, you will print the number is not palindrome. So this is a simple shell script to check whether a given number is palindrome or not. So far in this particular presentation session, we covered 3 simple shell script programs, that is to check whether a given string has less than 10 characters or not using if or switch case. Then we saw how we can check whether a given number is palindrome or not. Let us move on to some more programs. So this is a shell script to read a pattern and a file name from the terminal. You are reading a pattern and a file name. Then you need to check whether that particular pattern is found in the file name. So in order to search for a pattern in a given file name, the command we were using is grep command. So we make use of grep command to search for a pattern in a given file name. So enter the pattern to be searched. So this is the pattern mh. Enter the file to be used. So this is the file name student.lst. So searching for mh from student.lst. So you're using grep mh student.lst. So selected searching for pattern MS. So this will show all the patterns, all the lines in student.lst file which contains MH pattern. All those lines, those two lines will get displayed. Finally, you are displaying selected records shown above. So this is how we can search for a pattern in a given file name. So it will display the lines which contain that particular pattern accordingly. So the next program, a shell script to compute sum of numbers passed in command line. That means when you are executing this particular shell script, you are passing three numbers. You need to find the sum of these three numbers, which is 12. Sum is 12. Let us see how we can write a shell script for that. So initially sum is 0. Then $at, what this will get? This will get me the positional parameters. All these three positional parameters will be stored in $at. So we saw the different symbols we can use for positional parameters. $* will also store positional parameter. $at will also store the all the positional parameters, which are 2, 4, 6 in this case. Initially, since you are using for loop, I will get 2. I will get the value 2. Then expression, you are evaluating the value. Sum is 0. So $I means you will get value 0 plus 2. Sum will be 2. Next, I will get 4. So 2 plus 4, which will be 6. Next, I will get 6. So 6 plus 6, which will be 12. Next, you will go back to the for loop. Since there are no more entries present in the command line arguments, it will come out of the for loop. Then it will print sum is 12. So this is how you can write a shell script to compute the sum of numbers which are passed in the command line. So let us see some more examples which will be similar to what we saw in our previous programs. So this is a simple shell script to compute length of strings in the file. So there will be many strings in a given file. For each of the string, you need to find the length of the string. Let us see how we can do that. Sum is initialized to 0. Then cat student.list. That means you are taking the input from student.list and also you are displaying the content of student.list. As you can see here, student.list contains two strings, Rama and Krishna. So initially I variable will get Rama, then you will come here. So string is $I/n. So string is Rama. Now I is pointing to Rama. So $I means it will print Rama. Then you are finding the length of $I as we did in the first program of this presentation session. So here Rama will be contained. Then it will match with any 0 or any number of characters. So 0 or any number of characters, it will count each characters 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be stored to X variable. Then you will print length is 4. Again, you will go back to the for loop. Now I will get Krishna. So echo string is Krishna is displayed. Similarly, the length is calculated. Then length gets printed. Since there are no more strings present in student.list, you will come out of the for loop by displaying the length of two strings which are in student.list. So hope you have understood all the programs we have covered till this point. So there are three more programs. Let us wrap up these three more programs. As you can see, then we are going to the next model. So this will complete module 2. So if we cover up these three programs, this will complete module 2. In module 2, there were 3 chapters. We have covered all the 3 chapters. And this chapter is mainly based on shell programming. It is quite interesting and quite easy to understand. So let us see a shell script to validate a password. So he has given a valid password. That valid password is secret. So first it will ask the user to enter a password that will be stored in a variable called as password. That password value will be compared with valid password. Only if password value is also secret, then match will be successful, then it will display login successful. If you give any other string other than secret, then there won't be any match. It will come here and it will display access denied. So since the password is secret, so matching happens and it will print login successful. Okay. So let us see some more programs. A shell script to append doc extension to all the file names. So there are 3 file names, ch1, ch2, ch3, but they are not having any extension. Now we need to append .doc extension to all these three files. Let us see how we can do that. As you can see here, you are using the copy command. So it will fetch each one of the file individually. First file will fetch ch1. So now file contains ch1. For that ch1, you are copying ch1.doc. So echo ch1 copied to ch1.doc. So this contains ch1 which is copied to ch1.doc. Again it will get ch2, file will get ch2, you are copying ch2 to ch2.doc. So ch2 copy to ch2.doc. Now it will take ch3, again it will come inside, ch3 is getting copied to ch3.doc, you will display ch3 copy to ch3.doc. Again it will go to the file, but you have reached the end of the list, then it will come out of the for loop. The last program, the last sample shell script program. In exam, they might ask you to write some of the shell script program. So just be familiar with what are all the shell script program we have covered so far. So this is very simple and easy to understand also. So this is a chapter mainly based on shell program. How, what are all the theory concept, how we can write sample shell programs. So a shell script to check if the length of the name is greater than 20. So you will take a input first. So enter your name, Rama Krishna, that will be stored in name variable. Then you are checking the length first. So this is how we were checking the length till this point, as you can see here. So 0 followed by any number of characters. Dollar name ali Rama Krishna is there. So it will count all the characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Space is also a character. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 characters. So 12 will be the result. So if 12 will be compared with 20. 12 is greater than 20, false. 12 is less than 20. It will come to the else part and it will print you can't proceed. So these are some of the sample shell script program that you need to remember. So in this particular presentation session, we covered close to 9 shell script program. So as you can see, this is the third chapter of module 2 we covered. So we started with shell programming, how we can execute shell script. There were two ways to execute shell script. What is ordinary variable, environmental variable, local variable. Then we saw the read and read only command, the positional parameters, what are all the different symbols you can use for those positional parameters. The exist status, if the exist status is 0, then that means the command is executed successfully. If it is non-zero, then there will be some error. Different logical operators that we can use. The test command, it will be used for 3 situations: comparing two numbers, comparing two string, checking whether a given string is null, checking for the file attribute. So these were all the things we did in this particular chapter. So as you can see, then we covered if statement, case statement, so expression command, it has two uses: while, for loop, set and shift command, the year command, trap. Lastly, we completed with the simple shell program examples. We covered close to 14 simple shell programs. So just go through all of the presentation session we have covered till this point. So at the end of this particular presentation session, we have covered 2 modules. So in our next presentation session, we shall start with module 3. So if you are getting any doubts, you can ping me with respect to your doubts. Thank you.